Hello everyone, it's Bob Martin, the RC Sub Guy, out here at Sylvan Rodriguez Park. It's Saturday. Yes, it's Saturday. And I'm here with the Martin clan. That's my parents, Ron and Diane, and even Gracie. We're here early, the weather is beautiful, and we are going to be testing this bad boy out. 48th scale German Type 7. I've not had it in the water yet. This is going to be the very, very first time. Works on the bench, so I guess we'll see where it floats or doesn't. Okay, sit rep. We had it in the water. You saw it a minute ago. It goes for like 2 minutes and then it dies. So I got my radio on. Sometimes it'll power on. Yeah, see? It's working. But then when I hit the throttle, now it's dead. Hold. Oh no, barely. So I'm thinking it's the electronic speed controller and the built-in battery eliminator circuit. That's disappointing. Are you disappointed that the submarine did not go? Marooned. You're gonna fall in the water. You leave the turtle alone. Yes, you leave him alone. Nathan made it. He's busting out his newly modified permit. Control boxes now.
Yep, so there's power in the back. Motor ESC receiver. And I ran all the wires out to the front. Where you've got your batteries, go here, pump, the valve, and control for the valve.
There you go. So that's all that's left. That was the old Eden watertight or Shearline watertight cylinder. That's the only thing left is the ballast tank.
Yep. I still got the end caps and the
body.
And the body, if anybody needs it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you brought that.
Yep.
Cool. Well, you're gonna have a lot of buoyancy from those boxes. Have you trimmed it?
Yeah, I have trimmed it. And I took it out the other day. And I couldn't get it to dive, so I trimmed it some more. So we'll see.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, a lot more
buoyancy. Yeah.
A lot more buoyancy.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Inaugural run.
Minute timer.
Is that how long it takes to cycle the ballast?
Yeah. And because it's a high pressure pump, I don't want to leave it running.
Right.
So
Yeah.
For sure when the timer goes off. Get a little bit of flame.
There we go.
They maintain destiny. Not Ed, so.
That is what a perfectly trimmed submarine looks like. So you know she dropped by the stern in the turn?
Yeah, it's coming.
You had this one out here earlier, didn't you?
I did. I had it a couple events ago. Yeah, I misplaced it. Oh, here it is. This thing's more fun than the barrel monkeys.
All right, happy Monday, everybody. I was up super early. Dropped my parents off at the airport at we left here at like 4 o'clock in the morning because, you know, the flight left at 9 and Dad wants to be to the airport about 8 hours before his flight. But That's fine. It's cool. We've been busy. Logan's been boxing up orders that we got over the weekend, which is good to get them out of here. And then, what are you working on?
I can get this thing open. It's covered in grease, so I can't get it open.
Oh, we can use a napkin.
Yep, but in the meantime, I am trying to wire in a speed controller. So I need to just desolder these wires, and then I'm resoldering on some different connections. So I've got replacement Deans, I've got a replacement servo connection.
Yeah, this had the old school, old connections with the pins on the male side. And this is an old Super Rooster reversible. I think this is where our issue is. At the very least, putting in a new speed controller can't hurt anything. I don't know what else could possibly be causing the issue other than perhaps a BEC, but it seems to be the throttle that's causing everything to shut down. So we're going to put in a new old electronic speed controller, but here's the guts. That's what it looks like. Note this is how these servo connections work. So you have a square peg and a round hole, square hole and a square peg, and they just slip down in all of them. So kind of cool. And like with the Gato, note this is the rudder servo. Note this weirdness. There's a toggle switch here that when we trace it, turns the lights on and off. So yeah, full left rudder and the lights come on. Of course. Why would that not be what you would want to do? Super high quality Pitman motor there with a nice metal gearbox. Awesome stuff. Love it. And then I've been working on Beluga. We got our 200 easy driver all done, set up, tested. And now I'm working on some saddles and hold downs, and I'll do the connections. I think within an hour or so, I'll have drive shafts and linkages all run, ready to go. Should be cool. So that's what we're doing. We're going to break for lunch here in a minute. I'm hungry already. Beluga's coming along good. Let's take a look. So as I guessed, this really didn't take too much time at all. Magnetic linkages with adjustability, people. Don't just hook this stuff up without putting a way to adjust it. Got the drivetrain in there with a little intermediate joint. Let's take a look and see how this thing works. I got my new X14 radio. We got our rudder edge and our dive plane edge and throttle edge. I love it. I love it. It's pretty awesome. All right, now what? I got to figure out a hold down. So I glued on these little tabs on the outside and marked the tube so that it always goes back in the same spot. Now this will stop it from rolling, moving forward and back, or moving down. Now we just need something to stop it from going up. So probably put a little rod and an elastic band that'll just hold this down. But it's pretty slick. I'm gonna have to throw some weight in the keel just as a place to start, and then chuck it in the pool and see what the heck it does. All right, next project is this hold down situation. What was there before is broken. So we need to undertake some repairs. Let's go get our weapons of choice. Baking soda, thin cyanoacrylate. Gonna get a little something on the end here, and I'm gonna dump it in this area that needs to get reinforced. And it's gonna take a little bit. And I want to build it up so that it goes all the way under that lip. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 3/32 brass rod, put it down in there, and then hit the baking soda with thin cyanoacrylate, And what that'll do is leave a 3/32 hole in the middle. I could just drill it out, but this is less likely to break and crack apart. So just let me work. Let me get some stuff done. I'll show you how it turns out. All right, let's see if I can get this out again. Just need a little twisty twist. Look at that. We have holage. Yeah, what does that look like? Now we can trim and leave an extra little reinforced lip around the outside there. I'm going to continue to build this up a little bit though. I want a little more. Alright, that's a finished repair. And I got a little M3 bolt. With a little black paint on that area. And it will look awesome. And it basically tripled the meat, the height. So now this should not strip out. Just going to check the fitment in the back here. So I need to drill this out to an 1/8 in the back. And then we should be good. And there's our final repair thing right there. Everything's held on. Now we just got to work out our cylinder hold downs. That's probably going to be all I'm going to have time to do today before I need to go in and work on some 3D files and get back to some customers on some quotations, invoicing, and all of that accounting stuff. God, what a beautiful boat this is. Gorgeous. Ugh. Okay. Well, let's make some pinnage and some rubber bandage. Alright, here we go. Super simple. Super simple. Band, done. Dope. Not going nowhere. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to put some sticky majiggers in the bottom. The beauty of this is that with contra-rotating propellers, we're not going to have torque roll. So, you can get away with a little less. Just a little bit less. I'm going to put some in the bottom. And we're going to throw this thing in the water. And we're going to see where it floats. Here we are at the top secret test facility with a boat. How cool is it? You can just grab it like in one arm. All right. Let's see what this thing is going to do. I wedged a chunk of foam in the front here. A little bit. Well, I want to see if that's going to do. Oh, it's going to be. That's cool. Okay, no problem. Just put a little foam back there. That's fine. We'll see how much we need to put. Take it from there. Okay. A little problem. She's very, very, very stern heavy. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this mess out. Yeah, you can leave that on there because that's not interfering with nothing. And we're going to undo this, and we're going to take all our weights and put them up in the bow. Yes. And then we're going to put as much foam as we can in the stern and try again. Well, I've got to let that silicone dry, unfortunately. I tried to tack it and it was just falling out and stuff. So I'm just going to glue it in there permanently with some RTVage. But got an interesting project here that's going to be a little sideline gig that is probably going to be a Logan thing. He's going to take point on this. Let's see if I can rig this up so you can see it. Anybody recognize it? Seagate Titan. This is now before you guys start going crazy in the comments, oh, it's going to implode and it's all terrible and why are you doing that? This is a tribute boat, and the gentleman that contracted me to build it out of Scotland, he was good friends with somebody that perished on board the Titan. So keep your comments on the down low, snicker to yourself, but this is going to be a fully functional RC model of the Titan before she went down. It's going to be fun, and like I said, I think Logan's going to take point on this, so let's follow along with him, see how he makes out. Tuesday. We're working. Silicone has cured on Beluga, so we're going to go ahead, add some more weight up in the bow section here, and a little bit more foam in there, in an effort to move that center of mass forward so that stern doesn't sink like it did. That was not cool. Because you've got no room in the back. It's all taken up with gears and gizmos and linkage type things. I've also got a little leak in my cylinder. I don't know where it's coming from. I got to put a test tube in it and we'll check it out. Then I got to button up the Type 7 and it'll be done. It'll be ready for testing. And yesterday I rigged up or cleaned up the linkages for the opening and closing shutters. Pretty cool boat, man. I like it a lot. We're going to bring that out into the pool. Maybe not today. We'll see. But regardless, I have to get on that Nautilus build. So that's allocated for a little bit later today. So let me get to work. Stop delaying me. All right. We got just a whisper of positive buoyancy, but man, we got to get way more foam in that stern, which is going to be problematic because there's not a lot of room back there. It's just a whisper positively buoyant right now. Gotta get more in the back. So let's get this stuff in and then see what we can do about getting more in somehow. Okay, I had no choice but to put foam down low in that rear section because it was the only open spot in there. But I also put foam high in the bow. So I'm hoping it kind of sort of offsets. I don't know. Let's see what it does. Do, 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 do. Oh. 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 Wow. Okay. I think that's pretty good. I mean, maybe I could put 1/4 ounce of lead right in the middle of the tower there, just to get it, yeah, just a little bit lower. Cool. Okay. Maybe I'll just try running it like that. I don't know. So now I got to check and make sure there's no interference with the foam I installed and the linkages. So it looks like linkage isn't hooked up there. Take these rubber bands off, power up the cylinder, and throw it in the pool. All right. I think this is going to be just about perfect. A little bit of positive buoyancy. Shook out a bunch of air. She's floating. So, do we still have... Oh, yeah, we've got our rudders and our dive planes. And we've got throttle linkage. Okay, I'm going to pull Rhonda out of the pool, grab the underwater camera, and see what we can do. I was pretty stoked about it. Now, it does not turn well. It's got little baby rudders and little baby dive planes. Still suitable for a swimming pool. Nice pace. I have it turned down to about 60% on the throttle because I didn't want it jumping out of the water or anything. I think it's gorgeous. It's super easy to handle and a beautiful size. Like, you just grab it and it's like all done. I think as a dynamic diver, it's absolutely perfect. I love it. Now, this is your chance to yell at the screen because the new owner in the UK is going to take this museum quality paint job and he wants me to hose it down with black paint. My soul is ready to be crushed. Masked off the white, masked off the prop. Hose it down. Some black paint. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but I mean, God, guys, compared to what it was, so disappointing. It looks more like a toy, like a pool toy now, as opposed to like a real submarine scale boat. But whatever, not my boat. It's his boat. I'm gonna pack it up, get it out of here. Of course, let the paint dry first, but get it out. I'm going to send him pictures, and I know then he's probably going to say, oh, maybe you could just add a little weathering. Or I'll be like, no! All right, back onto this thing. I want to clear this out, and before I can do that, I need to put it in the pool. But before I put it in the pool, I want to show you the coolness. So these are the front, what do you call them? Torpedo shutters. That's what they are. So let's see how these work. Pretty cool, eh? Let's take a look at the inside here. So the way this works, you got your linkage here, and then the doors are spring loaded, and way down in the bottom, and you're not going to be able to see this, but there's arms connected to this linkage, and as this pulls, it pushes those arms out. Some on this side and one on this side. So the springs keep them in, and then when this moves, it pushes them out. I know that's really hard to see, and you guys are probably, oh, I want to know how to do those. You can't see it, guys. I'm sorry. You just can't do it. There's no way to film it. I don't know. Trust me. If you want it, buy it. There you go. Good solution. I'm trying to remember what all these dials and stuff do. There's the backup air bladder. And it deflates. So it's either full or empty. So water pressure would, in theory, deflate this bag. And then the air, obviously, air pump inflates it. So it's a backup system on a switch right now. The interesting thing is when you blow through the test hose there, because the Schrader valve is open, so it's either pump on or Schrader valve open, it'll pressurize this, but it'll also pressurize this. So I guess what you could do is move this to, really, actually, you should swap this around for the 2-position switch here. These should be just swapped around. Be super easy. Then you'd have torpedo shutters and your backup. That's what I would do. New owner can do it. So I'm not going back into this thing. It's ready. Everything should be functional. Nope, it stopped working. Houston, Houston, you have a problem. What's going on here? This is not good. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, I'm at a little bit of a loss here. I thought I'd fix this by swapping out the speed controller, but now this is doing the same thing. It'll power up for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and then shut itself down. Now, I'm not sure what sort of batteries are in here. I'm assuming if they're like the other boat that they're nickel metal hydride batteries. But I tested this and it's reading at 12.4 volts, which should be charged. When I put it on the nickel metal hydride charger, the computerized charger there, it was charging it at like 16 volts. Is it possible he's running a 14 volt system? Or something like that? Or an 18 volt, I don't know, 24 volt system? And the reason it's acting up is because the batteries are literally dead. Throw it on the charger and see what happens. Get some explosions. Hopefully I get it on film for you. All right, here's my Mickey Mouse charging setup. You got this charging adapter that goes in the little waterproof hole there, which goes via alligator clips to my charger. I figured 2 amps would be good, but like look at the charging voltage. It's like 16 volts, 15.8 volts. Now in theory, the charger is like measuring the resistance across the circuit so it knows at what voltage to charge the battery. I'm gonna have to do like a trust fall with my charger. And hopefully it's not going to explode the boat. Keep an eye on it and see. But it's at 2 amps of current and 15.8 volts. We'll see. That could be why it's turning off. The battery pack could be 16 volts or 14 volts or something and just exceptionally depleted. Hopefully, it's as simple as that. Well, I think I broke it. It was charging. Everything was looking good. It was all stable, and then it went connection break. And now it's only reading about 2 volts, so I'm thinking some of the cells got exploded. Bottom of the hull's hot. It's warm. So now I get to crack in to here, pull everything out, see what batteries are finally in there, and then figure out what's wrong. I don't know if the batteries were shot and that's why it was shutting down. That could be. Maybe that'll fix our power issue. But that will have to be tomorrow.
All right, Wednesday morning, made a good bit of progress. Dad's working on Nautilus, getting
Nautilus lighting.
Nautilus lighting getting done, and we've got another shark that I have decapitated for the sake of. But this is the 3-footer. Trying to slip around.
So this one was commissioned by a guy specifically because he wanted a shorter one. I'm not giving him any internals. He didn't want it. He was going to do it all himself. But he wanted a 3-foot shark because it was going to fit in his pool a little better.
No, see, I really like the size though. Like it's enough you can easily just like stick it under one arm and carry it pretty well.
Yeah, compared to the 5-footer, this is like pretty convenient.
I mean, you're not going to get the same like, oh my god, it's a shark reaction when you stick it in the water, but like
he'll still take a little chunk out of your toes.
Yeah, someone will probably mistake it for a very angry tuna.
All right, boys and girls.
In the water, just putting around. Look nice.
Look at this. So Logan's extracted all of the guts and gizmos. Couple things to note: nickel metal hydride cells, and there was 7 of them at 2 volts per cell. Rigged in series is 14 volts. So this was a 14 volt system, but we got massive amounts of corrosion on here. Yeah, not looking awesome. 4500, so 4.5 amp cell. But I think this is what was causing our issue here. This is a voltage regulator. And it looks a little crusty, a little nasty. So what we want to do is figure out what we can do to repower and put a new voltage regulator in here, which should be fine. So at one time this flooded through its like major history, but everything is functional. I think this was the problem. It was working intermittently, and that's why our radio was dying. A slow and horrible death. So Logan gets to go check our storeroom and see what we can fit in the bottom here. But we've only got that much height to work with. I don't know, maybe we can... Oh, you know what we could do? Maybe we could do a pair of 7.4 volt batteries, which will be skinnier, and rig them in series.
Run them side to side or something.
Yeah.
Run the whole length of it. Or
Yeah. All right. I got Jason stripping some wires for me because I bundled my wires wrong for my Nautilus model. That's super smart of me. Not a big hassle at all to undo. But we did find a battery, right? This is a 3S 3200, whereas we were at 14.4 4500. So it's going to operate a lower voltage with slightly less capacity, but it's going to fit in there really nice. These are all 12 volt components. That's a 12 volt motor. That's a 12 volt motor. So I'm not sure why they were running at 14 volts. Maybe he thought it was too slow. I don't know. But at any rate, that fits in there nice right underneath there. So
yep, I just need to get some double-sided tape so that it seats and stays. Then, unfortunately, some of the parts broke apart where this was the build plate previously holding the
receiver.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's gone. It's broken to 100 pieces. But the original plate that covered one of the batches of batteries survived, and this, luckily, is also where the servos were mounted. So it should be pretty easy to install the battery, and then reinstall the plate, and then reinstall the servos.
Nice. Okay, we got to extract these. And the challenge is we need to figure out how to get a balance port outside the watertight compartment. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to balance the battery, which yes or no in terms of how critical that is. But we'll figure something out. First things first, pull all these old ones out, get the battery in, put the servos in, and then we'll worry about that. Okay, we have a plan. So we got all our lights done. It only took all day because I screwed up the wiring to begin with and I had to completely redo it. But we got everything on this super cool fobby thing. We can turn the propeller on, which you can't see because I don't have the propeller installed yet, but you can hear the motor running. And then tack lights, interior lights, and our floodlights, or any combination thereof.
I like that green.
This is super cool, man. I'm glad I found this. All right. Well, now we gotta get it all glued together.
Make it pretty.
Yes, the prettiness. We are out at the top secret test facility with this. Had it in the pool. We were sucking water. We were blowing water. It could just be the radio that we have in it, though. It's a 2.4. Sometimes the pump would kick on, and sometimes it wouldn't. We just used a cheap, old, nasty Wi-Fi that we had here. But tank filled in what, maybe 20 seconds. Anyhow, and then D filled. So that's all good. I think the only thing, there was a leak here, and I'm wondering if there's a leak in the seam of our sealed ballast system. I think ballast tank. I think that's probably what's going on. But like overall, as a functional test, this was a success, I think.
I'll take it.
All right. I have ordered more tubing, so we should be able to do more of a production version. Don't like this resin. I don't think we might do ABS plastic for those.
It'd be nicer if we need to drill
Yeah.
everything too, because this is so brittle.
Yeah. All right. We have a plan. It is Thursday morning here at the dry docks, and it is a gorgeous day outside. I think it's like 58 degrees right now. It went down to like 40 something overnight. Cold, comparatively speaking. I'm in a jacket for the first time since like last fall, but it is awesome. Got the door open. We've got lots going on right now. Logan's boxing up Beluga, and that's going to be going to the UK after we get that boxed up. And he's going to be leaving here right away to go to Glenn's house to build, or help build, the giant box for the big 10-foot Vallejo upstairs, which is going to get shipped out as soon as we build the box. So I'll be on my own in the shop for probably most of the day here. I want to get the Type 7 batteries in and this Nautilus buttoned up. I'm hanging out my bin. Get out of the way. Ooh. It's a little cold out, I know, you poor thing. guys, it's Friday. I spent all day yesterday working on the Nautilus, and that's got a whole separate build video that you guys can watch that'll probably be uploaded before the one that you're watching right now, so you can see where we're at with that. But it's super cool, by the way. Before we get into things today, now Logan needs to leave at 8 to go finish up that big box for Baleo. Greg needs his help again because Greg had knee replacement surgery and can't move around very good. Subfest. Want to make sure that you guys remember Subfest 24 was not canceled. It was simply delayed. It is now set for April 30th to May 4th, 2025. Same place, same venue, the Red Clay Resort. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. They're going to be prepping that spring for the new season, so it's going to be fresh, clear water for us there. You got time now. All of the tickets are open. You can get your tickets for Subfest 24 redo on my website. All the details are there, including the dates. Don't delay. Put it in your calendars, guys. Otherwise, you're not going to come. It was already shaping up to be an awesome event. It's going to be even better now that we got more time to prepare. And the next bit of exciting news that we've got going on, Logan's going to be joining me November 4th for another epic road trip. This time from Spring, Texas up to Granite Falls, Washington. We're picking up a whole truck full of awesome RC submarine epicness. And I wanted to give you guys first peek at everything that's going to be coming through so that if there's anything that you really want, you have a chance to put a deposit down before I get it listed up. Let's take a look at this. First one, and probably the most important of all of them, is a gorgeous Engel Typhoon. 3 forms of level keeping. You can switch them on and off from the transmitter. It also has a Subtech ADC with a pressure sensor for the bow planes, plus the Engel pressure sensor for hovering, wooden stand, instructions, paperwork, all of this awesome stuff. Beautiful boat. You can have first crack at that. Hit me up if you think you want it. Second, we got 2 Subtech Albacores. One that's in really good shape with like a homemade WTC, the gas ballast system. Was completely working last year, apparently. The other one, a little scruffy, but certainly salvageable. It's been sitting. Generally works, but there's going to need to be some work done on it. Both include radios. One's got a really cool propeller. The other one's like a white metal from like an Alpha or something like that. Gorgeous boats. Let me know if you're interested in those. Engel Lafayette. This was completely working with the radio. Paint job could probably be done up, but other than that, it's fully functional and should be ready to go. I just did a video on one of those a few months ago. Really cool boat. Engel 212, completely working with the radio, with the Engel stand. These are fun boats for the pool or for small lakes and stuff like that. Jump on that one because they are high demand boats. Small World 212. Now this is a smaller boat. The Engel is 72nd scale. The Small World is 96 scale. Completely working with the radio. Probably needs a new battery pack. Ballast system is gas and it has an air pump in there as well. Scale Shipyard, Benjamin Franklin. Unbuilt kit with a few extras. Really nice brass prop. Nicely made brass yokes. Some acrylic WTC saddles. Nice detail etched in and a really nice indexing lip. This is going to build into a beautiful boat. Let me know if you're interested in that as a project. RPM Tech Kilo. You haven't seen these around a lot. I've had a few on my site, and actually this one I used to own. Sold it to another guy, and he sold it to another guy, and now it's back to me again. Got the video on my channel. It's got a really cool paint job. The layup is really high quality and very thin, so the amount of ballast you need is very low. Comes with a complete watertight cylinder from RPM Tech. Not very common, and it's an unfortunate story about Rick Palumbo and RPM Tech. Ended up taking a bunch of orders and running off with their money, but his products were pretty darn epic, and this is going to make a cool boat. DeBoer 48 skipjack. Yes, people, I'm getting a DeBoer skipjack again. Everybody wants one because they are so dang cool. Big, about 63 inches long, cause a nice brass prop and drive shaft setup already installed. Sail planes are installed with the bell cranks and all of that stuff. Original appendages plus a more accurate, like upgraded appendages to make it more accurate to the real thing. Inside, you know, there's some rough looking WTC saddles made out of wood. All that needs to be gutted when you do a proper job building this out. But whole house fit together really beautifully and is going to build into a gorgeous boat that, like I said, everybody wants. Other thing I got, OTW X-Craft. Not very common, but you've seen me do a video of the stickleback that I did up for Vaughn a little while ago. And Vaughn owns one of these things. Beautiful boats, and if you want a unique submarine to add to your fleet, this is the one you want. They behave on and under the water absolutely superb because of the configuration of the stern. Very tight turning radius, really good response to pitch inputs. Gorgeous boat. Jump on this, it's lots of fun. 96 LA. It's he thinks it's 96 in scales, about 62 inches long. Built originally by a gentleman by the name of Irv Crosby, and he had a bunch of cool things in there, including functional missiles in this boat. So if you want a really cool project boat, it's got like an older WTC style setup in there, but it would be a blast to get going. And it was obviously fully functional at one time. So LA in a larger scale, grab it. And the last one is a Sea Ray. We call this a Sea Ray mystery sub. This was also built by Irv. It is really cool. It's like a sci-fi fantasy, almost Star Wars Episode 1 submarine-esque creation. Fiberglass, really well made. The tilting props for the pitch control, differential thrust for steering. This is a pretty dang cool boat. If you're interested in that, hit me up. And I almost forgot there's two more coming. One of them is a beautiful scale ships Akula with a custom built watertight cylinder. That one looks absolutely gorgeous, and the scale ship subs aren't being manufactured anymore. The Akula. And Angle Typhoon, another beautiful boat. So we're going to have two Angle Typhoons. They both look awesome. Jump on that sucker. Just a note about those boats, guys. I said I have not seen them yet. I can't guarantee functionality or anything like that. So there may be a couple of options. One would be to just take them as is. I'll just flip them in the mail to you and you can deal with them. Or the other one is a lot of these are basically supposedly RTR, like, you know, that one was supposed to be. Which means I could potentially go through them, get them all tested, trimmed, and that would be at a different price point, obviously. So let me know if you're interested, and if you are, what condition you're interested in taking them at. We'll open up a dialogue and see what we can make happen. I prefer to have them in hand, gone through, fully evaluated, fully documented. Just those pictures, people. Don't ask for more pictures. I don't have it. If that boat's what you want, let me know. We'll put you on the queue, and you get first crack at it. So Logan took off on me to go help Greg out. Running into issues with this emergency air pump deal. This I told you this compartment probably flooded at one time. We've replaced the battery. We replaced the battery eliminator. Everything's functioning perfectly. It hasn't shut off. That has been figured out. But now this emergency ballast system is not functional. So I replaced the wires. We're just checking this thing. We got to figure out what the heck is going on. I got to see if it's got voltage. So with the switch off, it's like 0.2 volts or something stupid like that. If I depress the switch, then we got voltage. Pump's not working. So we have to put a brand new air pump in this. This is going to be a brand new boat when we're done. All right, repair completed. Brand new pump, brand new wires, and in theory, if I do the twisty here, other twisty, the air pump works. And now what I can do is keep the servo in the middle position because we transferred it to the rotary dial, which means that the dry compartments will be completely isolated so that if this actually does pop off or whatever, this will still be segregated. It won't leaky any and cause a floody. And then so we're blow ballast, vent ballast. You see the air bladder go? That's quick, man. Holy cow. There you go. I like it. I like it a lot. Now we just need to put everything back. That's it. That's all. Just do it. Should take 2 minutes tops. And that was, in case you missed it, sarcasm. I want to make a note here before I button this all back up again. This isn't just a simple matter of connecting the wires back up again. You really want to make sure you have these capacitors on here. These 0.1 farad capacitors, and that'll eliminate electrical noise, or at least reduce it, so that when the pump kicks on, it doesn't do stupid things to your boat, your receiver, because it's in close proximity to the receiver there. So make sure you put your suppressors on there, people. All right, ladies and germs, that is going to wrap up this week here at the dry docks. Got to tap out a little early because Logan is getting a new tattoo this afternoon, so I got to be there to hold his hand. I shouldn't say that. He's super tough, but still going to be there for moral support. We're in a pretty good place for next week. This should be done next week. Should be fairly easy. I'm just waiting on an extension for the balance port for that to finish that up. I am going to do something crazy. That Type 7 that you see there is going to be fully functional probably by the end of next week. Tested like the week after, and you already saw the Gato, which is like the brother to this Type 7. They're both similar size. Right now, the Gato is listed on my website at $3,000. I'm going to do something crazy. I am going to finish this up, fully test, trim, and video it, and I'm going to offer both for $3,000. So if you want to supplement your fleet with a fully tested, trimmed, ready to run boats that look epic at a great price, let me know. We'll hook you up with both of those boats for $29.90. Can't beat it, boys and girls. With that, on behalf of myself, Bob Martin, the RC sub guy with the Nautilus Dry Docks, and Logan, who's not here, thanks for joining us. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. We'd love to hear from you. You can always email me, bob@nautilusdrydocks.com. If you like this content, like and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. We're not kidding. A lot. You have a great rest of your day, and as always, we will see you next time.